Good day mga kamatiks! Kumusta kayong lahat dyan? Andito na naman ako si Sir Navero at welcome sa ating panibagong video. So, sa last video natin, we discussed about solving radical equations, diba? May dalawang parts yun. And if you notice, medyo kapos ako sa oras sa last part ng part 2. Usually sa last part talaga. Kasi, yun nga, kapos talaga sa oras. Tapos hindi masyadong na-elaborate yung discussion. So that is why I made another part of that video, which is the part 3, solving problems involving radicals. No? So, sa mga estudyante ko dyan, sa 9 SMN, SN, and ST, ST and OLMC, please finish the video because the last part of this one will be the example similar to your performance task, no? So please take note of that. So let's continue. Okay, so ayun na nga, yung topic natin is problems involving radicals. So basically, yung mga applications ng ating mga ginagawa prior to or yung sa mga last video natin. So objectives, recall the use of Pythagorean theorem if tapos ka ng topic nito, Pythagorean theorem. Kung hindi pa, hindi na yan recall. No? So you have to define and identify when is it usable and solve problems involving radicals. So proceed tayo sa example. So maraming bagay ang ma-applyan natin na radicals, no? So baka magtanong kayo, saan nga ba ma-apply? So, unang example natin is, to save a woman from a burning building, the fireman placed a 10-meter ladder against the window. The foot of the ladder was 2 meters from the wall. Approximately, how high was the window? So, tinatanong dito is, based sa illustration of gaano kataas yung window mula sa paanan ng building. No? So, moving on, paano nga ba ito i-solve? So, ayun na nga, gagamitan natin yung concept ng Pythagorean theorem kasi anything that leans on a building, on a wall, it forms a right triangle. No? So, dito, may right triangle dito. So, hindi masyadong makita pero if you're going to face it in physical, in reality, may triangle talagang ma-form. So, yun na nga, Pythagorean theorem, in a right triangle, if C is the length of the hypotenuse, so hypotenuse is yung pinakamahabang side ng right triangle. So, A and B are the length of the two legs. So, yun yung legs nga ba. Okay, so A square plus B square equal to C square. So, ito yung formula na gagamitan natin sa problem na to. Okay, so paano nga ba yun? So, ito yung illustration, A, C, B. So, tsaka right to. So, hindi mo yan ma-apply kapag simple lang na triangle. So, it should be a right triangle. So, basically, ganito yung process natin. Let's erase this first. Hindi na tayo makasulat. So, yun na nga. Let's highlight or let's zoom sa part na may illustration. So, ito. So, first is you have to identify ano nga ba yung A, B, and C mo. So, dito, anong part ito ng right triangle? Ito yung C. Dito, ano nga to? Ito yung medyo mataas. Ito yung B. Saka yung pinakamababa, A. Diba? So, alin dito ang may value? Only si A at saka si C. So, hinahanap is yung B. So, basically, isulat mo lang yung formula. Kasi, tapos ka na mag-identify ng A and C mo, so you're just going to substitute it in the equation. So, ang A square, magiging 2 square, saka si C square, magiging 10 square. So, 2 square is just 4, 10 square is 100. To solve for B square, B, we have to isolate it. And then magiging minus na si 4. So 100 minus 4, that's 96. Then we take the square root on both sides, di ba? At saka apply yung principal square root, no? So, yan. So, basically, si 96, pag finactor mo, using case 2, magiging 16 times 6. Then, square root of 16 times square root of 6. Yan. Magiging plus minus 4 square root of 6. And then we use the principal square root. We only use the positive values since we're talking about lengths. Diba? So, yan. The height of the window was 4 square root of 6 meters, which is approximately 9.8 meters. No? So, minsan, tinatanong kayo or nire-request na in radical form, minsan in decimal. Usually, ito yung sagot. Pero pag may calculator, pero pag wala, ito yung sinasagot, yung in radical form. Okay? Depende yun sa instruction, di ba? Okay. Next, the radius of a cone with volume V and height is given by the formula R equal to square root of 3V over pi h. So suppose a cone has radius of 10 cm and a height of 25 cm. What is the volume of, find its volume using the formula above. Round your answer to the nearest hundred. So, yun na nga, ito lang yung formula. Tapos, you have to identify your given. So, given lang is the 10, which is the radius, and then yung height, 25. Then, the asked one is the volume. So, ito lang yung formula na gagamitin mo. So, basically, you're just going to plug in these values in the formula. So, R equal to square root of 3V all over pi h. So, yung R mode magiging 10, no? At sige, si H magiging 25. And then, we now take the square, so that we can eliminate the radical symbol, we have to square both sides, di ba? Kasi para makancel na to. Okay, and then dito magiging 100 na siya. Then, wala na yung radical symbol. Pagkatapos nyan, multiply natin si 100 at saka si pi 25, no? So, magiging 100 times 25, magiging 2,500. Tama nga ba? Okay, so, times pi over 3v, no? So, next thing to do is, anong susunod na gagawin dyan? Okay, correct. So, you have to divide both sides by the coefficient of the v. So, which is 3. So, yan, cancel na yan. Dito, divide mo na. Include mo na rin yung pi. No? So, again, since it's asking you to round your answer to the nearest hundreds, you have to express pi or use the calculator. So 2,500 pi over 3, that is approximately 2,617.99 kasi hundreds eh. The unit should be centimeter cubed or cubic centimeter. So the volume of a cone with a radius of 10 cm and a height of 25 cm is 2,617.99 cubic centimeter. Okay, next. The formula T is equal to 1.11 square root of L gives the time T in seconds required for a pendulum of length L feet to swing through one back and forth cycle. So a grandfather's pendulum completes one cycle in 1.28 seconds. So ito lang yung given. To the nearest hundredths of a foot, how long is the pendulum? So ito lang yung given, tas yung formula ito. So identify tayo. Ito yung given. Ang tinatanong is yung L, yung length ng pendulum. So yan. Then you have to simply substitute it here, diba? So that we can get rid of this radical symbol, we have to square both sides. Yan. So mangyayari, square mo to, 1.111 square, at saka makakancel na yung radical dito sa kabila. Yan. So, if you notice, hindi ko muna in-square kasi yung iba, pag in-square nila, round off na nila sa second, yung sa hundreds place, no? So, hindi ko muna in-square kasi medyo hahaba siya. So, kapag in-square mo, tapos i-round off mo, magbabary yung value ng L. So, that is why, kung ganito lang, makukuha mo yung approximate pero malapit na siya. No? So, yan. So that we can solve for L, we have to divide here. No? So, divide 1.1, 11 square both sides. Then, makakancel na to. Then, L equal to, yan, dyan na yan yung square. So, 1.6384 over 1.2321. So, pagkatapos dyan, divide mo na. So, basically, 1.33 ang kanyang length in feet. Okay, so the length of the pendulum is 1.33 feet. Okay, next. So, ito yung item na sinasabi ko sa mga estudyante ko dyan na similar sa performance task nyo. So, in the movie, the villain is supposed to fall off the cliff. If his body double, stuntman, wanting to know how high the cliff is, drops a stone to the water below. It takes the stone 2 seconds to hit the water from the top of the cliff. How high is the cliff? And then use the formula T is equal to square root of D over 16, where T is equal to time in seconds and D is height in feet. So you might be asking, sir, why is it that here in the problem it's telling us that the stone was dropped? It's not the man in the picture. So again, it's a joke. So it's the shoot naman. So maybe tapos na niyang i-drop yung stone. Okay, so solution tayo. So first is we have to identify yun na may given na naman tayo is yung T natin is 2 seconds. So sa performance task nyo similar lang din. So but you don't have to go to a cliff, ha? So pwede yung sa terrace nyo, pwede yung sa window nyo sa may second floor kung meron man. Kung wala, hanap na lang kayo ng part na basically part na medyo mataas. Wag yung delikado, wag yung sa roof. Okay, ideal is the roof talaga, pero medyo delikado kasi isa dyan maulan, madulas na nga. Pero hindi ko yan i-allow talaga. So, continuing, T is equal to square root of D over 16. So, basically, you're just going to simply substitute 2 for T. So, yan. And then, you can now square both sides. Diba? Kasi, to get rid of this radical symbol. And then, yan, mag-get rid ka na. Tapos, dito magiging 4 na yan, equal to D over 16. Diba? Kasi, wala na yung radical symbol. Tapos, multiply mo yun si 4 at saka si 16. So, magiging 64. So, the height of the cliff is 64 feet. Okay? So, yun lang. So, basically, yung process ng pagde-derive sa formula is, yun. First is, you have to acknowledge that there is a radical symbol and then you have to get rid of it. Yan. Sige, so, for you to practice the problem solving, you can have the following items. And thanks for watching.